lovely viewers. Welcome to another edition of Learning the Law. I'm Gaicha Elizabeth Dandila, and I have this gentleman on this show today. He's in the person of
Denzola G.
D for short. Okay, so a lot of us have bank accounts in which we perform our transactions. Some people sit at the comfort of their zone and use the mobile apps to perform their transaction. This is very easy and affordable. Yeah, I know technology has advanced. Okay. Now, anytime I go to banks, I see a lot of people trooping in and out. Some going to deposit money, some cashing out, some even going for advice from the bank. So today we'll be looking at banking and who a customer is. Another subsequent questions. So don't worry. Just sit down, relax, and enjoy this video. Welcome once again to the show.
Thank you.
To the show. So as I said earlier, we have a lot of banks in Ghana. We have Barclays Bank, Commercial Bank, Fidelity Bank, even our own bank, GCB. So we would like to know what a bank is.
Oh, okay. So the interesting thing about banks in Ghana is that there is no specific definition for banking, or there's no definition that encapsulates the whole concept of banking. You see many times that the acts of parliament have conferred privileges or advantages on banks, bankers, but never once defined what actually a bank is.
Okay.
The closest we've got to defining what a bank is a banker. And a banker is somebody who carries on the processes of banking.
Wow.
Without defining what banking is. However, I think the technical definition that you can find in the Bank and Deposit Taking Act of 2016 is a bank is any company that has been incorporated under the Companies Act or any relevant laws. Any relevant law could be the Incorporated Private Partnership Act in Ghana, which has been licensed by the Banking Act to carry on banking activities in Ghana.
Okay, so when you say banking activities, you mean financial services?
Exactly.
Sure, okay. So that's what a bank is, or that's what banking is.
Yes.
Right. Now, can we look at some functions of a bank?
Function. Okay. The most common function of a bank is deposit taking.
Okay.
Banks take your money for you, use it for business, give it back to you. Some banks also give out loans, some mortgage properties, some serve as intermediaries between investors and potential customers and all that.
Wow.
I mean, investors and potential companies who would like to, receive their investments.
Okay. So as I was doing my researches, I came across an interesting section, and it's section 23 of Act 930, and that's the Banking Act.
Okay.
Well, it says that unless you have been licensed by Bank of Ghana to carry on banking transactions, you cannot hold your institution or company as a bank or use the word bank in a descriptive way which shows that you are carrying on financial services. If I should get this right, this simply means you can't use the word bank to use in your financial activities or even associate it with your company. Because someone can decide to name his or her company bank.
Yeah, or men's bank.
Or men's bank. You just raised the topic again, men's bank. Okay, so I think what this section simply means is what you already said.
Yes.
That unless before you can carry out financial services, you need a license from Bank of Ghana. Okay.
And the main reason why this is so is because banking is an activity that requires a lot of money.
Okay.
You can't just get up and start a bank with your 100 CDs.
Wow.
And then you just deceive or fraud people and run away with their money, like our good friend did. I haven't mentioned names.
Which good friend?
Oh, you don't know the CEO of Men's Bank, former Men's Bank.
You're talking about number one, right?
Who's that?
Anyways, let's just go on. Okay, we'll be coming to bank customer relationship. As I said earlier when we started this video, a lot of people have been going into banks. Some go out to take deposits, some go out to deposit money, some go out to cash in money and all of that. Now, who is a customer? Because we see a lot of people at the banks,
Yeah.
and we don't know whether they are customers or not.
Yes.
So who is a customer?
I was about to use a case to define it, but let's just see. A customer of a
Okay.
bank is anybody at all who has any business with the bank,
Okay.
whether the person has an account with the bank or not.
Oh, okay. You said you wanted to use a case. I
Yeah.
think the case is wiring, right?
Yes,
Wiring
exactly.
metals.
Wiring metals.
Versus
Like,
what?
you know your cases. Oh, I remember it was versus something.
Colonial
it
Catering
catering
Company.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Exactly.
nice. So a customer is anyone that has an account with the bank,
Yes.
or it's in any relationship that there's banker customer
Customer
relationship.
relation. Yeah.
Okay, so now we know who a customer is. Fine, let's move straight to okay, so let's move to the next thing. You know, some people go into banks purposely for advice, either for their personal businesses or some sort of investment. So those who actually go to banks who are not customers of that bank to seek for advice, can we also classify them as customers?
Okay. So the thing about banks is that the bank has no duty or responsibility to give advice to anybody regarding their finances.
Okay.
Whether you have an account or not, because you know the relation is a business relation. They are working in their best interest.
Okay.
You're also keeping your money there in your best interest. So whether you have an account with them or not, anything they tell you is going to be in their best interest. So
Okay.
they owe no duty to tell you anything.
Okay.
However, in the events they actually do give you an advice, it would be reasonable that they exercise due care
Okay.
and they should be diligent in giving you the advice, because it is money we are talking about here. They can't just give you any by heart advice and expect you to carry it out.
By heart advice.
Exactly. So the banks owe no duty to give you advice. However, if they do give you an advice, it is the law holds them accountable to it, that you are not forced to give advice. So if you decide to give advice, it should be accurate advice, or it shouldn't be one that you know would put the customer in a position to run at a loss.
Oh, okay. Since we are learning the law, I think we should back it with some authority.
Oh, the case of Wood
versus Martins Bank,
Bank.
Limited.
Yes.
What actually happened in that case?
You really want to know that?
Yeah, I
In
really
that
want to
case.
know. I really want to
Okay.
know.
So the thing is, a customer. Okay. And you said a customer is anybody who has any sufficient relationships to establish.
Exactly.
Exactly. So whether he had an account or not, he went to the bank to seek advice. Okay. And the bank advised him to do particular things. And in the end, he ran at a loss.
Wow.
Exactly. He ran at a loss. And the bank said, well, you came to us for advice. We gave you the advice. We didn't guarantee you that the advice was going to give you profit or not. And the man said, oh, but I had no idea at all. I relied solely and completely on the advice you gave and made those business decisions, and I ran at a loss. And the bank said, well, it is not, like I said, it's not the duty of the bank to give you any advice. If they give you any advice, the bank was trying to make it look like it was out of the goodness of their heart, because they owe you no duty, such duty. And the man said no. So it was taken to court, and the court held that no, it is true that the bank owes you no duty to give you advice. However, if they do take it upon themselves to give you advice, they have to make sure that they do it with due care and diligence.
Wow. So this is an advice to all banks. Please, when you advise, and be careful, because you'll be held liable if anything happens. Thank you very much. Okay, cases where people actually steal to deposit into accounts, can we also call reported thieves customers?
See, that is the interesting thing. A customer is a customer. It doesn't matter the relationship the customer has outside the bank, or how the customer got their money, or the relationship between the customer and their source of income.
Oh, okay.
A customer, when you define customer, the only scope is the relationship between the bank and the person himself. So no matter the source of the income, the person is still a customer of the bank.
Oh, okay. So no matter what you do, it doesn't matter the business you are engaged in. So far as you have an account with the bank, or you engage in banker customer relationship, you are a customer of the bank.
Of course you are, but then It doesn't mean, I mean, we are human beings and we should be reasonable. It doesn't mean if a thief comes to ask you for advice as a customer that we want to rob this house and we need somewhere to keep the money, you willingly give him the advice that, oh, we have storage in space, and we have storage space in storage 816. Go and steal the money and go. No, I mean, it should be reasonable. It should be a reasonable relationship.
Sure. Thank you very much. Okay, so what's the nature of bank-customer relationship?
Okay, I think I mentioned this earlier that it is a business relationship. And you know, in business, everybody wants to win.
Okay.
The bank is looking out for themselves.
Okay.
The customer is supposed to look out for himself, because I don't think nothing the bank is doing is in the best interest of the customer. It's always in their own best interest. Even the interest they give on the money you deposit or you save in the account, they go and do other businesses elsewhere, and then they come back and give you your share of the profit. So they are making profits. It doesn't mean that the fact that they are giving you interest for saving with them, they like you or they want you to be rich. No, it is in their best interest, and they just give you a fair share of the profit they make. And however, there are so many different kind of relationships, okay, apart from the business relationship. Like if you look at the case of Foley vs. Hill, it described the bank-customer relationship as a creditor-debtor relationship, okay, where, and it says that, like I said, the bank does not hold your money in trust for you. It is not a fiduciary relationship, okay? They are not doing anything in your interest. All they do is to borrow your money. That was how the court put it. They don't hold your money in trust. They borrow it, use it for other business advantages, or use it to their advantage and come and give you back your fair share and give you back your money. Okay, yes. So it is more of a business relationship.
Oh, okay. Some professors also say it's more of a principal-agent relationship. So what does that actually mean?
Okay, yes. Like I said, apart from the business relationship itself, there are other actual relationships. Now, if you look at the case of, there's this case called, I don't know why I've forgotten the name. Okay, Queen versus King, exactly, King. Queen versus King, and it defines an agency as a fiduciary relationship. Okay. There's something I really want to talk about. That's why I'm rushing. It starts with men's, but I don't know the end. Maybe
men's gold.
So,
don't worry, we'll get there.
Okay, and it says an agency is a fiduciary relationship, okay, between one person. The first person is the principal and another person the agent, where the principal gives the agent authority to act and make decisions on his behalf in relation to a third party. And that change or decisions that the agents make will be legally binding on the principal, such that the court will regard it as the principal making those decisions. And I said earlier that the bank owes customers no fiduciary duties or anything, but agencies where, you know, they are investment banks. It's a type of bank, investment banks, where the bank acts as an intermediary between its customer and a company or any other business the customer wants to invest in. And in that case, you or a lay person who has no or completely no financial literacy, even if you have financial literacy, not to the extent that you can enter into investment, stock market. So there are situations where you go and give your money to the bank, act on my behalf, invest on my behalf. At that particular point, the bank has actively involved themselves in your financial activities and is working on your behalf. So in that case, anything they do has to be in your best interest. And that is also in their best interest, because at that point it's as if you are working as one. You see, when it's a bank customer relationship, you're on one side, you're on the other end of the rope. But when it's an agency, you both belong on one side and the third party is the other party. So both of you are working together to yield the best interest. So at that point, the bank works as your agent and make sure you earn a profit, or make sure the investments they are going to put your money into is going to yield good profit, because it will be to their benefit. Because obviously, if you make money, they will take their money off it. Yes.
Wow, interesting. And let's quickly move to the duties of a bank.
So like I said, the bank structure, the bank business is quite complex. So there's not really a limited list of duties, but you know, Ghanaian laws outline a few of them, like duty to receive deposit from the customer. They also have a duty to produce the customer's money upon demand. The bank has so many duties that cannot be listed.
I think they also have a duty to keep the customer's information confidential.
Exactly. You cannot go about telling everybody that, oh, this man working here, he came to keep 5 million. So I haven't said go and rob him, but I'm just telling you that he has come to keep 5 million at one. No, it doesn't work that way. Everything that they do with the customers has to be confidential.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Are bankers required to inquire into the sources of customers' money and further make an inquiry as to the purpose of such funds?
Like I said earlier, whatever relationship your customer has outside the banking relationship is their business.
Okay.
However, we are reasonable human beings.
Okay.
You can't see a lay person who earns 2,000 a month. Maybe let's say a teacher, okay, who earns about 2,000 a month, and then one day he comes to deposit $10 million, not even CDs in the account, and you see the money is coming. So yeah, I won't inquire. No, the bank has a duty to actually inquire, because when you accommodate criminal activities, you become an abettor.
Yeah.
And you can go to jail for that. And even though the bank has a separate legal identity, and usually you can't arrest the bank and take the bank to jail. You know, in the case of Mokov vs. Kuma, Sufa Akufu, who is currently the Chief Justice, said the events where the court will decide to pierce the veil to make individual people accountable for their actions or for the actions of the bank. So it is very important that the bank knows that, oh, this money is not criminal money. Any money that looks suspicious or any activities that look suspicious, the bank has to inquire and find out where it is coming from.
I think this is to prevent money laundering.
Exactly, money laundering. Somebody is lying that, a shop owner, but the person is taking 10,000.
Students usually do that. You know, a student.
Oh, I know.
This fraud. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Oh. So you don't want to give out such information. You know you can be arrested for knowing such information.
I don't know anything, please. I'm innocent. I don't know anything.
I see.
When do banks honor checks?
Okay. When you look at section 72 of Act 55, it tells us that a check is a bill of exchange issued on a banker, which is payable upon demand. Okay. Then you go to section 73, talks about the period between the issuing of the check and the withdrawal of the money.
You want to tell me this a lost it?
And you know, the important thing about section 73 is it has a lot to do with section 74, which talks about when banks will honor check.
Okay.
Obviously, the first most important part where they should honor it is if you have sufficient funds in your account.
Exactly.
You can't withdraw money you don't have in your account. Okay, but however, there are some times where a bank will graft you. It will grant you an overdraft.
Okay.
Yeah, it will grant you. That is, maybe you have just 10,000, but you want to cash out 30,000. It will grant you an overdraft. So in that case, you'll be owing the bank.
Okay.
There's also a situation where they will grant you a post-dated check.
Okay.
That is, they know that every 30th your salary will come inside. So by all means, 30th, the salary will come and sit in the account directly from your employer. I won't go and pass anywhere. You won't come and deposit. It always comes to them. So they can always take their money.
Okay.
Okay, so they will grant you. So apart from having funds in the account, the second most important thing is the bank must make sure you haven't countermanded your check. To countermand means to send a notice that the check shouldn't be honored.
Okay.
And that is very, very important. That's why section 73 is also important, because the period between the drawing of the check and the withdrawing of the money, okay, is the period between which you have to actually countermand the check.
Okay.
Because if the money has been withdrawn, there's nothing the bank can do for you. But you have that period. And usually they say that the most important thing is that the same way you issue the check should be the same way you withdraw it. Because sometimes you issue it in person, then you want to withdraw via email, and you see the email 2 weeks later. So it is very important that you have a swift form of communication if you want to countermand the check. Once you haven't done that, and you are also not dead, because the bank cannot give out your money if you are dead.
Yeah.
So if you have enough funds, you haven't countermanded your check, you are not dead, the bank will honor the check.
No, okay. Now we are living in a country where we are governed by rules and regulations. So as a growing up child who has not attained the requirements to open an account, where your parents open an account in your name, do you, the child, become a customer?
Yes, you do become a customer of the bank.
Okay.
You do become a customer of the bank because your parents are only holding the account for you in trust.
Okay.
Everything they put there belongs to you, probably for future purposes, or obviously for future purposes, so you can take care of yourself. But then, children are children. If you give them access to the account right now, you regret. They'll end up buying a whole box of this thing. Food dips.
What's that?
You don't know food dip.
No.
So this toffee, you dip it in some powder and you lick it. You don't know food.
Oh, you've been doing it.
Oh, I used to like it a lot.
Oh, wow. Your daddy must watch this video.
So this one time my mom sent me to go and buy something for her, and I saw the change and I saw the food dips hanging. And you know, this shop attendant, they put the sweet thing in front. Yeah, sweet receipt. And I bought food dips. That day they beat me. They beat me like a thief. My mom really
Your mom has to really watch this video.
she really beat me. And what even made it? I don't just beat me. I went to lock myself in the washroom. And she told me that if I like, I should sleep there, because if I come out, she will beat me. Okay, that was just.
That's just by the way.
So yes, the child is a customer, but the parents are just holding the account in trust, so that when the child is of age, the child can take over the account.
Okay. So the child becomes a customer of the
child, exactly.
Okay. Now we'll quickly move to the rights of a customer, and then when does the customer banking contract terminate?
Okay.
So quickly look at the rights first.
Okay. So, you know, the duties of a customer and rights of a customer. It's a duty of a customer to demand for his money. However, the customer has so many rights. In fact, it is a vast number of rights.
Okay.
Because, you know, there are different kind of activities the bank carries on.
Okay.
And there are different kind of services they provide and everything. So it is every service and activity and its rights.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So,
but let's look at just the general one.
Okay, so the general rights
of a customer.
I
think it's the right of a customer to demand for his money when he needs it.
Yes. Oh, I think that falls under the duty. Okay, because although you have a right to your money, it is your duty to demand for it.
Oh, okay.
Because you have your right to access your money, but it is your duty
to demand for it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And it is your right to deposit. If you have an account, you have a right to deposit in it. You have so many rights. Unfortunately, I can't remember in details
the rights because
there are so many. But then there are just so many.
Exactly. Oh, okay. That's nice. I wanted to ask this particular question. Where you have an account with a bank and you normally deposit money into the bank, so you have money in the bank actually, and you want that money instantly, as in you want every bit of that money instantly, is the bank obliged to give you that money?
This matter is quite controversial because, like we said, it is the duty of the bank to produce your money upon demand. You've lent them the money, you need it back. They are supposed to produce it.
Okay.
However, there are a lot of cases where the court has held that the bank is supposed to give you an amount equivalent to that deposited and any interest that has been accrued on it. You know, and this depends on a case-to-case basis because people do panic withdrawals. They hear that a bank is collapsing, they're out of cash and everybody wants to withdraw their money. You are rather collapsing the bank the more, and it will be very, very hard for the bank to save everybody in one day, or you come and you want to withdraw everything. It is going to be very hard because if you have a large sum, what if at that point they don't have the money? Because you know they use the money to do business.
They invest in other businesses.
So it's not every point in time that they'll have that large sum. So they may say, oh, go and come in 2 or 3 days, we'll give it to you. But in the event where you go and come about 2 or 3 times and they still don't give it to you, you can take them to court and you demand for your money, but not necessarily all
the money is some equivalent to what you deposited. Oh, okay. So back to your interesting topic, Men's Gold. Is Men's Gold a bank? Has it been licensed by Bank of Ghana?
Men's Gold is not a bank.
Oh, okay.
Men's Gold is not a bank. You know, the Bank and Deposit Taking Act defined a bank as any company incorporated, and that Men's Gold is actually incorporated, all right, but it has not been licensed
by Bank of Ghana.
Exactly, to take deposits, cash deposits or any form of deposits. And they came to like, oh, they're bullion company, they will sell gold to you and.
I think you know at the beginning they were called Men's Bank.
Exactly.
Before they changed it.
You remember the laws of Ghana say you can't use any form of bank. You can't twist the word exactly if you are not a bank. And they tried to play smart by calling themselves Men's Bank. But then the law knew that that's how fraudsters work. So the law has covered that area that you can't twist the word bank and add it to your name. And they changed it to another name. And
Men's Gold.
To Men's Gold.
So Men's Gold is not a bank.
Men's Gold is not a bank.
Then if it's not a bank, I doubt the customers will get their money.
You see, the interesting thing is, I know that Bank of Ghana issued a warning somewhere in 2017, that Men's Gold was not licensed to take deposits, and that customers of Men's Gold should make sure they do not, or potential customers should not deposit their money. But everybody was happy and gullible. You know how gullible Ghanaians are. They want straight money without doing any serious work, and people were still depositing. And I think the government gives sufficient one. However, the timing was very late, because Men's Gold started its activities far back as 2014.
Okay.
And it's not like they were working in the dark. They were working in plain sight. Even when you are coming from Accra, so you see very big Men's Gold signboards, in fact billboards, I mean. And even when you are coming from, I think, La Paz to the mall, there's Men's Gold office. It's big, and it is.
The way you're giving details of it, I have this feeling you really wanted to invest in it.
Oh, I never wanted to invest. I was actually very mad, because that's how Ponzi schemes work. Take your money, go and tell somebody that, oh, there's this place, if we take your money, we'll give you bigger money. New people bring their money, give the new people money to the old people. Exactly. And they also go and tell more people, and it's growing bigger. And there are a lot of companies that work like that, but I don't want to mention any names. They'll come and say, oh, their company pays. There's this company, it starts with M and ends with X. I don't know the pronunciation.
M and X.
Yeah, I think it's
Tell me my ear.
Max International. Those are Ponzi schemes. I mean, how can you be so? I don't want to insult anybody by calling them stupid, but I mean, you are so gullible that you cannot see you are being frauded.
Wow.
How can somebody say, I'm selling gold to you, okay, but I want to keep the gold and do business with it and pay you an interest? That is very ridiculous. Even the most prominent banks don't have such interest. And you think somebody somewhere who started a business in 2014, look at Barclays and all those standard, those banks that are over 50, 60, 100 years, they don't even have such interest, because there's no way you can work a business and get such interest unless somebody is out somewhere giving you free money. And Ghanaians still believe, but I completely, in all honesty, I blame the government. I blame the government, because a company cannot start working in 2014 and the warning comes 3 years later. I mean, how? So, in fact, all those who invested after the warning have themselves to blame. But what about the innocent people
who invested before the warning?
Exactly. Because honestly, if I also heard it, I'll be very interested. But I mean, by common sense, it's
a lot of students invested their school
okay. I think the reason why some of us would have known is because a few of us have literacy. We did economics and so many other courses, so we have a little literacy. But I think to the lay person, it will be understanding and I really blame the government. I don't think the government should be responsible for paying them back. However, I think the government should do something about it. They should find a way of bringing the man back to answer. And funny enough, if he comes back and he doesn't have the money, there's
nothing.
He can't conjure the money from. I'm sure by now his family is outside.
Oh, they are outside. Exactly. He has moved all of them.
Exactly.
If you are the one with your family be here.
I watched this video of this woman saying that the money she invested, it was orphanage money that he gave to her to keep. Somebody donated. Can you imagine? It is not even your money, but because you are gullible, you felt that you get big returns, you decided to invest it. How?
Let's just end Men's Gold's issue. And as if we still want to continue,
we are going to go on and on. But the government really should be able to do something. I know you cannot blame the government or ask them to give them back your money, because we are all taxpayers. You can't come and take my money and go and give it to somebody because the person decides to invest in a fraudulent company. But I think they should have offered sufficient warning even way before, and they should have been able to stop
the guy
from working way before they did. Because it is the law that if you don't have a license... Some of the
celebrities were seen taking pictures with him and other stuff.
That is a very
the normal Ghanaian would think, oh, he's actually doing the right thing.
And this thing happened, and I was very mad. When Bank of Ghana issued the warning, okay, and then Stonebwoy came to credit Men's Gold and said, oh, invest in Men's Gold. Even after Bank of Ghana giving the warning, people were saying, oh, Stonebwoy said it. Bank of Ghana said, don't invest. What financial literacy does Stonebwoy? I love Stonebwoy, but if we are being serious,
I'm sure when Stonebwoy sees this video, he'll be taking the answer to court.
What financial literacy does he have to come and tell you that even if he has a sufficient amount, comparing it to a whole Bank of Ghana, the Central Bank of Ghana telling you not to invest, but because
Please
Stonebwoy said
for whatever we are
Saba.
saying. Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, and yes, you cannot hold us for defamation because it is the truth. And truth
That's
is
our
a
defense. Thank
exactly.
you.
Someone said invest, so they went to invest. Can you imagine? I was really mad, and they said, Becca said it, Sarkodie said it. So
That is okay. Let's just
it's
end
Sarkodie
here.
Bank of Ghana. Is he the governor? We are not serious.
Let's just end here. Okay. Now a lot of people have easy. A lot of people have been going to banks to take loans. Now before you take a loan, I think you need to get something as a collateral.
Exactly.
Yeah, there have been so many cases where people go in for loans, and when they're not able to pay back, the bank wants to take either their houses or their cars as mortgage. They say it's undue influence.
Okay.
Can we elaborate more on that?
So the thing is, there are different types of loans.
Okay.
You know, there's a mortgage. Mortgage is always over immovable property, be it a house, a land, and you know it is a right of the bank to take lien over customers' property.
Create lien over
exactly.
customers' assets.
So if I give you a loan, definitely I'll need a guarantee that you pay me back my money, because if we're able to give out loans without guarantees, anybody just go take a loan
and not pay back.
and never pay back. So you have to bring a collateral, and the collateral, nobody forces you. It is in your own interest. Okay. But however, undue influence comes into play where, for example, husband and wife, we both jointly own a matrimonial home. Husband goes to mortgage the home. That's, if I say mortgage, take a loan with the home. Okay, with your home, and then he's not able to pay back, and you'll be held accountable. Your property will be taken away from you, both of you.
Okay.
And people will cry, undue influence. Yes, my husband. So when he said I should sign, I just signed. I didn't know this and that. And you know, most often the courts give them that pass because it is the duty of the bank. They are supposed to serve the spouse with a notice. Okay. When they serve you with a notice, they owe you no duty to explain to you. However, in the event you have to sign any document, that is when they have to explain to you that this thing that you are signing, if you don't pay back, we'll take the house. If this and this should happen, this would happen. And they should explain to you in a language you understand. However, if you still sign it as a result of the influence your husband had on you, you can still take it to court.
Okay.
That is if you don't have enough knowledge in that area, and they told you what you needed to hear, because banks also want the money, so they'll tell you what you need to hear, so you sign it. Okay.
Sure.
So they tell you, we are giving you 10,000, then you can pay over in 15 years. Just sign, and you say, 15 years I'll get the money. And they try to make it look pleasant to you. Okay, and then you sign because your husband is also. Then maybe you divorce or something, you know. There was this case, National Investment Bank versus
Madam
Abnasewa, where this woman, a whole serious financial literate, had taken loans several times.
Why are you so relaxed? Why are you so much excited about this case?
This case is so hilarious. You've taken loans several times. You know how the thing works. In fact, you're a loan merchant. If it gets to loans, you are the boss. You can raise your shoulders.
Oh my
You've
God.
taken loans several times. And one time you weren't able to pay back, and you said that undue influence. Can you imagine?
Let's play back.
So,
What did she say?
She had taken loans several times, and there was one event she wasn't able to pay back.
Okay.
And she cried undue influence. And the court said, you this one. You've taken loans and taken loans. Today, you are saying you don't know what a loan is. You didn't know. They didn't explain to you the effects. And the bank said, yes, court, come and see. This one has taken. It's in our record.
Are you sure the bank said yes?
The bank
Court,
said
come
yes.
and see.
Yeah, they said yes. Yes, I wasn't alive, but I was there. It's coming and see.
Wow.
Okay, so you can crown due influence, but not where you have enough knowledge in the area
about
to know that this is what is happening, or this is what's going to happen. I mean, this is what's going to happen.
That's why I'm super excited today.
so excited. My English is more excited. Okay, so if you know what is going to happen, you can't crown due influence.
Okay. So please don't be like Madam Abnasewa. If you have knowledge that when you go for loans and you default in payment, your mortgage, your house or your cars or whatever you used as a mortgage can be taken, because a bank has a right to create a lien over its customers' assets. beautiful. I think we've come to the end of this video. We don't have enough time. Like, we'll go on and on and on.
All those investing in Ponzi schemes, they run away with your money like men's gold. Oh, you Max, coming to tell us, Max, what's a Ponzi scheme? Okay, let me keep quiet.
That's all.
I cannot sabotage somebody's business, but you guys need to be careful.
Well, he has advised you. It's your duty to take it or leave it. No problem. We've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new here and hit the like button. We'd like you to give us your comments. We want to know your opinions and views about this video, especially what we talked about banking. And if you have any topic of interest you would love us to discuss, please put it in the comments section. See you in the next video. Bye.